What up, athletes? Welcome back to my channel. We are back on Mandela Avenue and Homestretch Avenue. This is the intersection of Mandela Avenue and Homestretch Avenue here in Georgetown, Guyana. And we are here because I wanted to give you an update on this building. That is the new Royal Mall and Royal Hotel and Mapao Casino and a number of other things. But last time we were here, they hadn't finished building the mall. So I want to take a look inside now to see, in fact, if the mall has been completed. But we're starting here because this is now one of the busiest intersections. This is the intersection of Mandela Avenue and Homestretch Avenue. They're actually rebuilding this road. So the surface of the road has been torn up. They resurfaced half of the road. Right, half of the road has been resurfaced up to about the new fire station, and then they had to tear up this second half of the road to start the rebuilding or the resurfacing process here, and that's causing a whole bunch of traffic jams, traffic delays, traffic problems. But we're going to deal with that in another video. Also on Homestretch Avenue, somebody was asking me what was happening with the new football stadium. They haven't started constructing the football stadium yet, and they also haven't really done much, although they started some work on the St. Stanislaus ground. So St. Stanislaus was given this new ground on Homestretch Avenue because the government confiscated their ground on Carifesta Avenue. St. Stanislaus ground used to be on Carifesta Avenue, and the government confiscated that recreational land to build the Hilton Hotel. Now this is the current Chinese embassy, and next door is the largest single Chinese investment in Guyana. This is the Royal Mall. Name has changed significantly many times over the years. It started out being Orchid Garden, and now it's called the Royal. There, it's the Royal Mall. So it's now the Royal Mall, and next door is the hotel and restaurant. Now I've actually taken a look at this building in the past. I think last time we were here must have been about, I don't know, 6 months ago maybe. Go to the archives, you'll see last time we were here, maybe 6 months ago, and they were still working on the mall, inside of the mall, but there are a number of stores and restaurants that were already up and running even then, and the casino, I think, has been operational for a long time. I think I explained what it means to get access to the casino, how to sign up, and I did sign up, although I haven't yet received my card. So it seems as if the mall is open. This one says March. In March, Ria's Computer Megastore is supposed to open in the mall. We're going to check that out, see if it has been open. And of course, there is the Royal Hotel and Restaurant. They were open, I think, back in March. We're now in May. Now we've been down to the back of this mall and see that it's actually longer than a city block. The building itself is longer than a city block, and so there is space for a lot. It actually faces the Botanical Gardens. So we're walking on the outside of the Botanical Gardens. At this point, usually I come to the Botanical Gardens. That's the Botanical Gardens here, the back of the Botanical Gardens here in Georgetown. I usually use the Botanical Gardens when it rains and I can't do my regular 10-mile run. But this is the back entrance. It's protected by Sheriff Security Services. That's another story for another day. We're gonna deal with that in another video. But here is the Royal Mall. As you can see, Space Gym occupies a significant part of the building, one of the upper floors. And down on the ground floor here, this is the casino. These are the signs that says it's a gaming lounge. Mapao has a gaming lounge. Space Gym is also one of the anchor stores. They've built these bus stops, bus shades. These are new, right? Those bus stops. But the building is now complete. That is the Royal International Mall and Hotel. I'm now calling it the Royal Mall and Royal Hotel, Royal Restaurant. They're all completed on the outside. Remember when they started planting these palm trees? They were small, relatively small, and all this traffic in the parking lot. Most of this traffic used to be for Space Gym, which is up there on the, what's it, 4th floor. You see a lot of people are still hanging out on the outside. Space Gym, those people are probably there for their regular workouts. So it's quite popular. And based on the traffic, this is about double the amount of vehicles I normally find in this parking lot. And my assumption is that some of this traffic is probably visiting some of the other facilities in the building. So there is a Royal Lounge, which is another facility in the building. It's, I guess, a place to have some drinks, like a bar and some entertainment. All right, that's the Royal Lounge. It seems to be part of the top floor of the building. And then in the back here, there is a large grocery store, what seems to be a grocery store called Real Value Supermarket. Okay, so it's a supermarket. That's the Real Value Supermarket. So that's yet another store, another facility that's open here. So this is really a mega facility. Right, this is the end of the building. It's more than it's like a city block, 2 city blocks long. Right, it's like 2 city blocks. Actually, end of the building So it's actually wide too. It's a wide building. It's an entire block from east to west, and another like 2 blocks from north to south. So it's about four square blocks in terms of size. So this is mega. It's a mega facility. Now, I'm gonna take a look at the mall because the last time. Oh, this is the supermarket. Seems as if. Okay, it's just a regular supermarket. Regular supermarket in here. Exit? Okay. Tell me something, the mall open?
The mall?
Yeah.
Here one in front, till in front.
Alright. Yeah. What's that? You want to be in it? No, I gotta ask you first. You want to be in? Alright. So, this is the Real Value store. This is the security guard. So tell me, how long this store open?
A year now.
Year? I realize they open so long. Alright, so gotta come back here to shop because it's a big store inside, but you can't see that from the outside. I want to see the mall first though. Which door?
Go straight down. Yeah, see the casino there, but
What's it got going by the front?
yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So apparently the mall, which is also a huge, good afternoon, a huge facility, it's probably open. What we'll do is, let's see, we'll enter from the front, but it seems as if, okay, this is supermarket, another supermarket entrance. Seems as if this is an elevator, an outdoor elevator. So apparently that tiny glimpse told me that the mall might not be fully occupied, although it might be closer to completion than it was the last time I was here. I think this is Younglee International Winery. So there's a winery. Good afternoon. This is the entrance to what? The gym?
Multiple things, gym, cafe.
Okay.
Yeah, like 5 so yeah,
Okay, so this is the winery. There's a cafe and a gym upstairs, right? So apparently, this is the entrance for multiple facilities. The winery on the ground floor. Yes, Medi Spa here on the second floor. There is a cafe. It says Love Latte. And I think this is a restaurant. Vape shop. There's a vape shop. Hi. Which floor is the gym on?
The fifth one.
Okay, so this is the second floor. So apparently, if you take the stairs all the way up to the 5th floor, you can get to the gym. This is the 3rd floor. I suppose this would be part of the mall. Here would be part of the mall. There are elevators too. Elevators coming up. This is the third, fourth floor. When I go up to the fourth floor, there's something here. It says dumpling, fruit juice, hot pot. So there is a restaurant, Tian restaurant on the fourth floor. So that's the Tian restaurant here on the fourth floor. And even higher up, there is a space gym on the fifth floor. It's a space gym. It's a space gym. Good afternoon. How much is it to join the gym? How much? Per month? How much? 14? Thanks. So that's Space Gym on the fifth floor. That's $14,000 a month to join the gym. And this is a look through the window on the fifth floor. Let's see if the elevator works. So there's a smell of cigarette smoke here. Don't know if the elevator is coming. Let's see. Doors closed. Yeah, there's a strong smell of cigarette smoke. What you can do is you can see the top. See the top of the buildings. Let's see. We're gonna go down to floor number 1. You can see the top of the buildings from the 5th floor. Right now we're in the elevator, making our way down to the 1st floor. Floor number 2, floor number 1. Good afternoon. So that's five floors. 5 floors of the building at the entrance to Space Gym and Winery. $14,000 to join the gym. This says open. I don't know what's behind it. So it's actually quite busy and quite popular. And all of this traffic, the vehicles in the parking lot, are an indication of how popular this new venue is. So these are all vehicles, most likely for Space Gym. So most of that traffic is for Space Gym. But there's also a supermarket, a casino, a winery, and at least 2 restaurants. There's a Tian hot pot restaurant, which we saw on the, 3rd floor or the 4th floor. And of course there's the casino, Mapao Casino. I have applied for membership here at the casino. We're gonna take a look at it as soon as I receive my membership card. I wasn't able to complete my membership. This is the entrance to the casino. We're gonna do that on another day. Take a look at the casino another day when I've got my membership card. But here, that's the entrance to the hotel. And this is the entrance to the mall. Tell me something, is the mall open? Mall open? Yeah. So apparently Ria's computer is open. So this is Ria's computer. They're open. Of course, the restaurant, the hotel restaurant is on the other side of this wall. And there seems to be some kind of the casino delivery place. They're not open. Maybe they are. I guess that's where you go to exchange your chips. And I guess the mall is not yet open. But this is what's happening, guys. This is what's happening here in Georgetown, the most significant Chinese investment in the country. It's about 2 square blocks, depending on how you count it. This building is 6 stories tall. We went up to the 5th floor and visited the Space Gym. This is the entrance to the casino. And there's a hotel. So we keep adding facilities. This is the hotel. Right, that's the entrance to the hotel here on Mandela Avenue. And of course, the building continues around the corner and to the right. It's another entrance to the casino over here. The building continues to the right. So it's one of the most massive investment ventures here in Georgetown. In terms of scale, that's in terms of size, but in terms of the number of businesses that are going to operate here, it's a venue for what will eventually be hundreds of businesses, dozens so far. I think the last time we came around here, they were still putting in some finishing touches, putting in some not elevators, but these moving staircases. Apparently they've installed those. Those are the staircases have been installed. And this seems the elevator. You can see a very high atrium in the center of the space. And of course there are casinos, stores rather. The stores have not all been opened or occupied yet. So for example, in this section, there's still a whole lot of construction in progress, installation and so on in progress. But you can see that's the winery we saw the outside of, and this part of the building is still under construction. So it seems as if they're much further along than we saw them here the last time we were here. They've installed the escalators and they've enclosed a lot of the stores, a lot of the space for the stores, but there's still a fair amount of construction to be done. My assumption is that they have another, I think that's a bathroom, one of the bathroom facilities on the construction. So they're almost finished. But this is mega in terms of the size, the sheer size of the facility, and the number of stores and vendors that will eventually occupy the building. It continues again, like I said, around the corner here to the left, to the right. We've seen that before. Number of stores also in that section of the building. So this is mega, major investment, major facility, the largest, I believe, in the country. I think it probably is larger than Giftland Mall in terms of the size of the complex and the number of stores that eventually, or the number of vendors that will eventually occupy this building. You know, counting Space Gym and the winery and the supermarket and the hotel and the casino. If you count all of those, including, I think Riaz Computer is one of their anchor stores, and the number of other vendors that will come into the Royal Mall, it's quite easily the largest in terms of scale, in terms of size and number of facilities. And there's also, I was looking back where we came from, there's also the appearance of the willingness to expand, right? So if you go around the corner, for example, they're expanding the facilities. They're expanding it, including more and more vendors and so on. So in terms of scale, I think this one is the largest facility in Guyana so far, of its kind so far. We actually visited the mall on the west coast of Demerara, and you can see that in one of the videos that I made on the west coast if you go back to the archives. And that one, although large, is about half the size of this Royal Mall. And I know, even I think we haven't visited yet the what is it, the Magic Movie Town. We haven't visited the Movie Town Mall, but they have a number of facilities, number of cinemas here in at Movie Town. And I don't know, I can't really compare the size of Movie Town to this, but we'll do that in the next video. I'll probably go take a look at Movie Town. But as far as I can tell, this is bigger than the Amazonia Mall, it's bigger than the West Coast Mall, it's bigger than Giftland Mall, and we're going to find out very soon if it's bigger than Movie Town Mall. But that's what's up, guys. That's what's happening here. A mega mall and facility here in Georgetown, Guyana. It's opposite the Botanical Gardens. That's the back of the Botanical Gardens, and down the street from the National Cultural Center. That's the National Cultural Center. Next time you're in Guyana, you have one more option for a place to stay. It's the Royal Hotel. You can also probably dine at the Royal Restaurant, and when you're not in your room, you can shop at the mall and visit the casino. That's what's happening. That's what's happening here in this neck of the woods. If you want to see more content like this, click like and subscribe. Share this video with friends and family around the world. Let people know what's happening in the fastest growing country in the world, Guyana. Later.